You've stopped into another episode of Dad Crossing where myself, Nick, and my co-host Sean will have real, honest chats about the highs and lows of dad life. We'll laugh together at the craziness of parenting and the silliness of our kiddos, and we'll support each other through the challenges and tough decisions of fatherhood. Whether you're a seasoned granddad or a dad-to-be, we promise laughs, relatable, and sometimes raw talk, and expert help to tackle the tough issues. Not from Sean and me, but from the amazing guests we'll have on the show. So let's be dads crossing through life together. Don't you wish you could just, figure out what they're dreaming?
Yes.
You could just, tap in and be like, I bet it's great. Except for when they do the running thing, then I bet it's awful. But, I bet right now he's just thinking about, playing in that big old fields you guys always go to and eating copious amount of biscuits. And his life is, amazing. Wait,
Biscuits.
This brings me to a great question.
Uh-oh.
Do you guys call dog treats dog biscuits?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know. I just really wondered. I was like, wait. I didn't know if you had a different name for them. So, I mean, we call them all kinds of stuff, but biscuits, cookies,
We call them
treats.
We call them dog cookies.
Do you? Do you really?
No.
Okay, because we do. I mean, some people call them dog cookies. Some people call them dog treats. Some people call them biscuits. My one friend has his dog loves ice from the freezer. And so he calls them freezer cookies. And so he's like, do you want a freezer cookie? And then he throws out ice, and the dog just absolutely loves it. It's like its favorite thing. And then he crunches on this thing of ice. So, and it's a freezer cookie. So there you go. Well, there you go. Dog treats. Welcome to everyday life, people. Talking about dog treats and dog dreams. That's what we're doing. But I, Sean, am on the eve of vacation, of 2 weeks of vacation.
I thought you was going to say I'm on the eve of Father's Day. So that makes me too.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm on that eve too. So I'm gonna be flying across the United States on Father's Day. I'm actually pretty excited. Longest flight I've ever taken. Dang, I never moved that chair. I was really gonna do it this time before we started a podcast.
But well, now you're pointing it out again.
Uh-huh.
Just kind of flop it over.
Yeah.
Dunk.
What chair?
And now we know what the show is for this week.
Okay. I really didn't know if the TV was going to stay standing. I was unsure for a hot second. Everything was wobbling. Okay, that would have been funnier if I hadn't almost had a heart attack. So
you've topped my brother this weekend for Father's Day. My brother's birthday is today on the 14th, and then
nice.
he gets Father's Day tomorrow, so he gets 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
For his. So
wait,
but
does he
yeah,
get
that
2
flying-
days though, or are people like, we'll just celebrate you on Father's Day? And he's like, son of a bee.
No. He's
Yeah?
had his birthday today. I got sent a video of my niece dancing around and singing to him, and tomorrow will be Father's Day, so she'll
Okay.
probably dance around and sing to him again because she's like that.
All right. Well, that's cool. Hey, I had the greatest thing happen, Sean. This was really funny. So when the pre-order frenzy happened for the Switch 2, I looked over at my wife and I was like, hey, I want a Switch 2 controller. I was like, you want to just make that a Father's Day present? And she was like, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Why don't we just do that? And I was like, great, thanks. Boom. Okay, got my Father's Day present early. Then yesterday, actually, I walk in and the kids and Becca are sitting there with this thing, and she's like, so we're not going to be here for Father's Day, so I wanted to give you this present. And I was like, you do know you got me a controller for Father's Day, right? And she was like, oh, I totally forgot. She's like, well,
But I still want that one.
yeah. And I was like, well, thanks for another present. I really appreciate it. And it was a very cool. We're gonna use it. We used it for a baseball game just last night, but excited for soccer games. It's like a 2-for bag chair. It's like a little extra big, and you pull it out, and it's like a love seat bag chair basically for 2 people.
Nice.
And there's this little spot in the middle where you can put cups and space for books and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So
That does sound very much like a back garden summer night
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, and we'll break it out for like campfire nights and stuff like that. Although, as I was carrying it to the baseball game yesterday, I realized this is a present for both of us because now I'm like, yeah, I got the chair, honey, and now she's got no chair because normally we just always carry our own chair unless like one of us got thing. So, but now she's like, I don't got to carry a chair anymore. Look at that, he's carrying the only chair for the two of us.
My way of thinking is you need some kind of trolley to put everything in. That you can just take it out of the back of the car and the trolley's there and on the floor and just pull it along. No more carrying.
Yeah, we have one of those pull-along wagons that we use for tournament weekends because it gets a bit crazy. But for like one-off games, there's not a reason to bring it out. Noah's big enough now that he can carry his stuff and help, and I carry my stuff, and yeah, so it just works out.
Becky now carries nothing because you carry her chair.
Yeah, she carries her drink.
Hey, look at
no, so yeah, but it's a pretty cool share. I really liked it. Miserable game last night in the middle of it's like drizzled pretty much for 3 straight hours.
Nice.
But Noah got a hit.
Was it warm though? Was it warm or was it like cold drizzle?
No. I had a fundraiser golf outing and I played 18 holes of golf through that in basically drizzle. And then I came home for 2 hours and went to Noah's baseball game and was in 3 hours of drizzle for that too. So, and it wasn't like freezing, like it wasn't like really cold, but it was cool. It was like, 60-ish, like lower 60s. So it wasn't like nice and warm. Especially Noah's game. Noah's game was especially probably on the cooler side because it was getting later in the day by the time it ended. So, anyways. So, getting ready for a golf outing, getting ready for flying out west. That's been my week, man. That's what I've done. I had Ariel's birthday. And there's
just to confirm, which way's west again?
Which way's west?
Last time you were kind of like you.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm not even gonna do. I'm trying to think right now, like where I'm facing. I am facing south as I sit in the basement, which means it would be that way. I think I'm pretty sure is where I would be. I feel like we're flying that way.
Yes.
Also, I'm not the pilot, so I'm good. So
yeah, there's
that.
Oh, speaking of planes, and I don't want to bring this up in bad taste for the fact that you're going to be flying. What's your take on the sole survivor of the plane crash that happened in India the other day?
Dude,
who was British.
Thanks, by the way, for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Well,
so, I was like, no.
Legit, my first thought was like, it has 2 takes. One, if he was on the plane by himself, then it's like, holy crap, that's amazing. And he's got to feel like blessed, but also somehow like, why me? I even saw where he sits. He doesn't sit in any, like, he's actually kind of like in the front section of the plane. You feel like he should have been on like the high end of you're gone, buddy. Like, I don't get it. But then there's a whole other side of like, I wondered, like, I haven't read enough to know, but like, did he have family on the plane with him? Because that changes things.
He lost a brother.
Did he? Okay. Yeah, see, that changed. That makes it even hard. Like, if I lived and the rest of my family died, like, I'd be like, it totally changes it then whether I'm, like, on a business flight by myself, right? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it just has,
definitely.
It hits totally different. So, yeah, I don't know. It's
but to,
a blessing and a curse, I think.
To walk away from that, because he wasn't like rescued from it. He literally got up off the floor and walked away.
I don't even understand.
But yeah, that was. I watched the video and I was like, oh, there's not going to be many people left from that, or much to find. And then find out that somebody walked away. I was like, that's impressive. I would definitely go and put the lottery on.
Yeah, like this dude, like, yeah, I guess the believer side in me is like, I don't know what God's got planned for you, buddy, but he got something planned for you. Like I don't know, man. I don't know what he wants to do, but
you've gone down that route. For me, I've gone down the final destination route. Like, there is a plan and an order for these things. So like, as he walked away from it, but is now going to have
Yeah.
this crazy elaborate ending where things are just all the cherries are going to line up just right.
Yeah, Death is coming after him now. Yeah, that makes no. That's crazy, dude. That is absolutely nuts. To all those people passed away from this plane, and this one guy just literally walks away from it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, it's a blessing and a curse. You'd be like, wow, I'm so blessed, but also like, why me? Why did I make it and not anybody else? So yeah.
Just look at the draw in some cases, and it's just. But yeah, wow.
Yeah, for sure. So well, hopefully that's not the fate of my plane tomorrow.
No. You shall fly safe across the skies of America.
It's the longest flight I've ever taken, and also fun fact: we are going to take off and touch down at the same, really close to the exact same time. So because we are
you travel backwards in time.
Yeah, we were flying over 3 time zones, and so we are taking off at 12:30 and we are landing at 12:30. So it'd be 3-hour flight.
Eastern. No. It's like Eastern, Central, and then Western. Oh, what's the
Eastern, Central, Mountain? Well, we're Eastern, so we're flying over Central, Mountain, and then landing in Pacific times. Yeah. So
you get to like. It's a wave at like Bruce and everything as you fly over. Hey, Bruce.
Yeah. Well, actually, I would wave at Jesse, the person left in my brain. So we will literally be flying over Kansas for sure. So I can wave at him. So yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, so there you go. That's that. I will update with pictures. I'll be sending you pictures, probably put some on X, so that'll be fun. Or at least I hope it will be. There's mild like concern of like walking these trails that are, somewhat desolate and difficult with children, but I'm sure all will be fine.
As long as you come back with both children, that's okay.
That's right. That's the goal. Both children. That's what we're looking for.
Both children.
So yeah. What about you? I've talked a lot.
Okay. So what about me? What have I been up to? So, I had my first drink of the year last night.
What'd you choose?
So, everything. No, well, it was kind of an opportunist moment because, and it's not very often these kind of things happen for us or to us. With Jay not working while she's been down at uni, she's landed herself a job as a waitress, bar staff at a tapas restaurant called Casa Casa near her university. It's like a 15-minute walk away. So she did a menu tasting night earlier on in the week, and she rang us and she was really excited about it. She said like the menu's really nice, and she tried all the different cocktails and stuff that they're gonna make because they were learning to make them. And she said, "Oh, they're gonna do like a soft opening on Friday, and I've got some invites. If you like, I can get invites if you guys want to come." And we were like, "Well, do you want us to come down? Because it's showing support." And so she's like, "Yeah, I'd really appreciate it." So we sorted out. We booked a hotel. We sorted childcare out for the other two. So we went down there. It was really, really nice night. But it's a very weird situation to be in because, like, we know nobody at this restaurant, and the owners like had their family and stuff there and things like that. And there was like friends of the family and friends of the owners and stuff like that there as well as a few random people that were there and things like that. But yeah, we walked in, we showed our invitations, the people were taking photos, we were handed like welcome drinks and stuff like that, and then there was like just tubs all over with ice in with different drinks. And so I was like, said to Lindsay, what do you want? Do you want me to I'll go up to the bar and buy something, because it'd be nice to like pay for a drink while we've been offered this opportunity, because they came around with like food on plates and stuff, and just because it's a try this and that kind of thing. So I ordered 2 drinks, and I was like, I went to pay, and the lady behind the bar was, "Oh no, it's free all night."
Open
Oh.
bar all night long? Dang.
Yes. So I learned last night I like old fashions. So
Okay. What's an old fashioned? What is that? Is that a type? Is that a a
um,
brand or or like a
it's
cocktail?
a cocktail. So
Okay.
it's whiskey, orange bitters, something else, and then like you take the rind of rind of an orange and twist it in, and then just leave it kind of in there for the smell.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, so I
Now,
found I can drink whiskey if I drink it that way.
nice. So did you find that you were a little did it affect you a bit easier since it had been so long? Yeah.
Yes, we got back to the hotel last night at about midnight. Just because we wanted to be there until Jaya finished and stuff. So and then we
Sure.
shared an Uber, dropped her off at uni, and then well, we took her for food first because she was starving. Bless her, she'd not eaten because
Oh,
it was busy. It was
yeah.
like constant. Obviously, open bar, the
Yeah,
bar
well,
staff are going to
yeah,
be
yeah.
constantly busy. So we took her some food afterwards. Dropped her off in the Uber, and then went to the hotel. I can't remember getting into bed. And then when I woke up this morning, I was like really disorientated. One, I was on the wrong side of the bed, which is by Lindsay's choosing. She chose the other side because she likes to be on the side furthest away from the door. So when I woke up and like it was dark, and I was like, I'm on the wrong side of the bed. This isn't my bed. This isn't my room. Where am I? So apparently Lindsay did the same, and she didn't drink much at all last night. So yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
So, but I paid for it today. I felt absolutely horrific all day today. It's not big, it's not clever. I'm not going to do it again for a while, but it's nice to know that I can do it and feel okay about it. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's really
yeah.
cool. Good for Jaya. Good for you guys. It's cool. You were
Yeah,
you're
and it
like
made an interesting.
celebrities for a hot second.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying. I was like, this is really surreal. Like I've never been to a restaurant opening anyway, but I've never been to something where you were just yeah.
Mhm.
So, but one of the girls that was bringing food out, so she kind of clocked that I was just eating everything and anything that came my way. So every time she came back, she just like clocked me, smiled, and then just detoured towards me, and I was like, "Yep."
Was it
So
really really
I had
good?
like, oh, the food was fantastic.
That's awesome.
The restaurant is really nice. Really nice, kind of. It's a Spanish tapas bar, but it has that authentic like feel. The walls were more like just clay plaster, so it kind of gave that
Sure.
feel of where you were and stuff. But they were blessed because the weather was absolutely fantastic. It was really warm,
Hmm.
so there was people inside and outside, but it was just really nice. So, but I ate
Nice.
a lot of prawns, I ate a lot of calamari, and yeah,
That's
seafood.
fantastic. So they have like a patio setting too outside or something like that.
Yeah, and there was like tables and stuff that you could sit
Nice.
out front.
Nice.
But I think like last night was a little bit of it's a really good marketing thing for it because people were trying to just walk in and being turned
Yeah.
away at the
Mm-hmm.
door.
Yeah.
And then you see this new place open up and you see it absolutely packed to the front and outside. It like when they do open at the weekend when they do open next weekend, it'll be like people will want to come to it because it looks so good. So
See,
very smart.
Becca and I were on the opposite side of that. I want to say it was Detroit, but I could be wrong. Um, we saw that there was a Wahlburgers, which is like I can't remember the two actors.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. They have this restaurant, and we were like, oh, let's go there. I've never ate there. I'm like, it's gonna be pricey, and she's like, yeah, but let's do it. I was like, okay, fine. So we were like walk in, and we were the people that like got exited out the other side. They were like, yeah, this isn't open yet. This is just for important people. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. They were much nicer than that, but it was like I'm like, oh my, yeah, my bad. Sorry, my bad. So yeah.
So yeah, did that. Lindsay's now got a week off, so we've got some adventures to be had. We've got a couple of walks planned. We're a day out in York, which is the city near us planned, but that ties in with me going and having a fitting for my knee brace, which I'm finally getting.
Yay.
Yeah, that's it. What have I done prior to that? Not a lot. I think I've worked since the last time. I had like that. The last time we spoke was my one day off, and then I worked some more nights, and then I didn't do anything really until Friday night, which was the night we were supposed to podcast. But it was very opportune, and we weren't going to pass it down, so we wanted to jump on that.
Not. Yeah, so. No, that's awesome. I did have one question for you about that. Another, are you good in those situations? Because I'm not in those situations where you're like throwing in with a bunch of people you don't know. Like I feel like I utterly suck at those situations of trying to like assimilate and like I don't know. They're like my least favorite in the world.
I think I only spoke to a handful of other people while like I was still at the bar. Talked to two of the bar staff who kind of looking at me as if to say, "Who is this guy?" Because I don't recognize them from anywhere or like any connection and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, that's my daughter." And, like pointing to Jay, and they're like, "Oh, okay." And then like conversation sort of carried on. But most of for the most part, me and Lindsay just treated it as a really nice date night.
Okay,
where we didn't have to pay.
Yeah.
So and then I did some boy maths, and I was like, "Well, it's cost us X amount for the hotel room, but we're not paying anything for the food and drinks, so it kind of just cancels each other out."
Yeah, makes sense to me. Yeah, I'm not good when I like have to make small talk with people that I do not know. Like I always feel awkward. There's always there's like this moment of like silence, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't know what to say. I don't Great, have a nice to see you.
Bye.
Yeah, it's just always so. I don't know. It always just feels so awkward to me. So anyways.
I think doing the definitely doing the podcasts has helped in terms of being able to speak to people. Because I used to, when we first started doing Dead Crossing before everything else, I was like, how am I going to be with speaking? And like, what am I going? It's definitely brought that side of me out. So I'm quite happy to do that. But yeah, once you get me talking, I end up babbling on, and it's like learning when to stop and watching people's reactions to potentially getting bored of listening to me. So
now, see, Becca is just like this. She always wants to know like everybody's backstory. So like, I don't know. She's just really good at like she can just go up to somebody like, "Oh, how are you? What's your name? Oh yeah, do you have any kids? Oh, you do. Oh, what do they do? What?" I'm like. I feel so intrusive, but they seem okay with it. Like they're like answered all these questions and they're like best friends all of a sudden. I'm like, I would never ask that. I feel like I don't even know this person and I'm gonna ask him if he has kids or who he is or like all this stuff. But Beck's just like, I don't know, it just kind of flows with her and it's just kind of she's just like, oh, that's great, yeah. And she walks away and she's like, hey, did you know that he has 2 kids and one goes to college and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, that's amazing. And I walk away and I'm like, God, what was that guy's name that I just talked to? I have no idea. I don't remember anymore. So it's just I don't know. We're just totally 2 different people in that front.
Yeah. So before we went in, we were kind of like walking around the area where the restaurant's based, just get an idea of where the restaurant was and what else was around it. Mainly because when Jay is doing like work in her clothes, is it weird and seedy and does she need to like need to be worried about safety? But it's a nice place. It's very, very nice area where she's in, and there's a couple of other bars and restaurants around that as well. So we were quite happy with that. But as we were walking around, this woman walked up to us with her husband, and she just like looked at Lindsay and went, "Hi, Lindsay," and waved. And like Lindsay glanced at her and like just completely ignored her at first. I don't know how she went, "Oh, it's Lindsay. It's so and so from school," and she was like, oh my God. And like we stood and had like a 10-minute conversation with these people. Like, and like, she hasn't seen this person since high school. Like,
oh, that's cool. Okay. I thought she was like a coworker. Okay.
No.
Okay.
For like the last time Lindsay saw her, she was 16. So, you know.
Wow. And she like picked her out just like that? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. And then like as we were walking away, Lindsay's like, I can't picture what she was like at school at all. Yeah, so she just did some Facebook stalking in the next bar, and she was like, Oh, I know that person. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, some people are just good at doing that. But does Lindsay have like the same face as like you know
Um,
what I mean? Like from when she was in
no, her hair's different. Like
yeah.
when she was younger, her hair was like long and black. When I met Lindsay, her hair was long and black.
Okay.
And now it's like shorter and like blonde. So yeah, she did really well at picking Lindsay out.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, not necessarily my yeah, I forget I'm trying to do better at remembering names. It's a real problem of mine, especially like on Friday, you know, like we're hosting this golf outing. These people have golfed with us. Well, this is not our first one. This is like our 8th annual golf outing that we've hosted. Many of them have golfed all 8 years minus maybe a COVID year, okay? And so I'm still like, I don't know that person's name, and I should. like, I don't know. I just suck sometimes. I really wish I could like take a picture and then just like, and I probably could like go to Facebook, get a picture, and then just like put a name to it, and then try really hard to remember it. But yeah,
You make people wear name badges.
yeah, yeah. But then I
Well,
always
I don't
feel
know.
bad. People watch your eyes. They know. They know if you're like. You know, and you don't even have to be like that. They know. They're like, oh yeah, he just looked at my name. That's how he knows. So,
Yeah, that's a fair point. So
and I feel like I should
I'm
know
pretty-
most of these people.
I'm good with names and faces. It's what is it? I struggle with.
Remembering what you struggle with.
Yeah, exactly. God damn it! You got me there. No, it's like I can remember. I can names and faces. It's where I can't remember where I've met them,
Oh, okay.
which is also sometimes quite worrying, especially like when I'm like we're out and about and like a school friend will come and say hi, and then they'll walk off and Lindsay's like, well, "Who's she?" And I was like, "I just like okay." So,
That's the best.
but yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. That's really funny.
Yeah, that doesn't always fly. Not very well, anyway.
Yeah. I know. I don't make it to that tier. See, I feel like that's like next level tier for me. I'm just like, I don't even know who that person is. Becca's like, who's that? I'm like, I don't know. We'll sit there and have a whole conversation, and I'll be like, oh yeah, oh that's great. Oh, your kids. Oh, that's fantastic about your kids. I'm so excited they're doing good. I was hoping that's how that would turn out. Yeah, huh? And he walks away, and she's like, who is that? And I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea. But her kids are doing really good, and she's turned her life around apparently. So I'm happy for her.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, at least it was a positive thing.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know who you are, but I'm just gonna keep talking to you because I don't want to be rude. And so, anyways, so I'm a jerk, and there's that. I did have one thing happen that I didn't mention. So with the whole Switch 2 thing, I finally figured out what I was gonna do. I gave my one Switch to. I gave my OLED is now the family Switch. The family Switch, which is the Animal Crossing Switch, is going to my mom, and my mom's Switch is going to a pastor friend. Okay, figured it out.
Okay, cool.
Got everything sorted. I was like, I think we're ready, Mom. And she's like, but I want my screenshots. And I'm like, okay, your screenshots. Sure, that's fair. I want mine too. We'll figure that out. So I go onto Nintendo support page. Real simple. They say you take the SD card out, you put it in the computer, you move them over to the computer, you put the new SD card in, you take it out, put it in the computer, move them to that one, put them back in, voila. I did that. Turned on my Switch. Did not recognize anything. So I'm like, okay. So then I go on to ChatGPT and I start looking, and they're giving me all these tricks of like, well, take a picture, make its own folder, then put the pictures in there. Nah, nothing. So finally I call Nintendo support. And after they finally understand exactly what I'm trying to do, they're like, oh yeah, that doesn't work anymore. And I'm like, well, it's on your support page. And he's like, yeah, but the update was just like 2 weeks ago, so they just must not have taken it off. He was like, we're trying to prevent people from putting stuff onto their Switch nefariously to hack into it. He was like, so that doesn't work. And I was like, okay, well, how do I do this? So now the only way, he's like, well, I believe he said I think they're trying to work on a better way to transfer that, but at the moment the best thing to do is move all your screenshots or as many as you can to system memory. And then
Oh,
you pull out the card and put it in the other card and then transfer them to the thing. This is news to me. When you pull out a card and put in a new card, every time it says, "Hey, this is a new card for this Switch," and it won't let you do anything till you format it. Bummer. Okay. So it formats it. But what it does not do is it does not format the screenshot folder. So you can still drop the screenshots on there and flip back and forth between the different switches, and it won't touch actually it won't touch any data really. It just delinks the old switch from the card and relinks the new switch to the card, so that any games that were downloaded on on the old switch won't work, and they'll have to be deleted. So it doesn't even delete them.
okay.
You still have to delete them yourself, which is really annoying.
Could you not have just swapped the SD cards over?
Well, but so okay, the reason we didn't want to do that is because when I got the OLED, when I got my first Switch, I went all out and got the 400 gig SD card, and then when I got the OLED, I got the 256. So then I gave mom the 32. Then I gave mom a 32 gig card in the original and put the 400 into the Animal Crossing one. So I wanted to swap. I wanted to give mom the 256 and I wanted to keep the 400. So that was the thing. So we had to move the screenshots on the two, and then take mom's and move hers. We had to combine them. We had to combine the two cards into one, and then take the 30 and try to explain this to Nintendo support. This is not easy. Like, the guy did really good. He was very patient. I was like, no, I have two cards. I'm giving one to a pastor friend. It's going to be completely formatted, but the one on that one I need on the 256, and the ones that's currently on the 256 I need on the 400. And he's like, I think I understand. And I was like, good, because I don't know if I do. So you're doing really well. Congratulations. I will fill out the survey for you if you really understand. So
yeah.
But
That's cool.
it all worked out in the end, but that support page needs to come down. And he was like, yeah, I see the support page. He was like, I'll put a ticket in to 86 this page. He was like, and if it's gone, and he literally said this, he's like, and if it's gone next week, he's like, you should search for it next week. And if it's gone, it's all thanks to you. And I was like, well, there you go.
You made a difference with Nintendo.
Look at that. I made a difference. And so, yeah, but it worked out in the end. It was very frustrating. I'd spent a lot of time. Also, I deleted on the Animal Crossing Switch, I had 1,800 screenshots/videos. I was able to get that down to like 700, but there was still a lot on there. And it was very fun, Sean. It was very fun to go through our Animal Crossing days and see you, me, and Dan running around the island. And then when we hosted the Nintendo Dads and our New Year's Day party. I mean, there was a lot of really good memories, and I was just like, this is like flipping through. Well, I mean, it is an album. That's what they call it, is the album. But it's like flipping through an old school album, just like going through and being like, oh my gosh, I remember when Sean and I did this. So yeah,
I think about 70% of my screenshots are when people have accidentally pressed the screenshot button and play Mario Party.
yeah.
That is definitely for sure, because a lot of them are just Mario Party mini games.
Yep, I was able to delete a lot of Mario Party accidental ones. That was a lot of ours. I also was able to delete a lot of screenshots that I did for the Dads After Dark monthly mayhem stuff. There's a lot of just like scores, like Mario Kart scores, all different kinds of scores. You could tell when I was like taking them, and they'd be incrementally better each time, and there'd be like 20 of them in a row, and I'd be like bleep, bleep, bleep. So yeah, it was but it was fun. It was good times.
Yeah. I've not done a right lot with the Switch 2. I think I've played a lot more Mario Kart. And I've started Wind Waker. But I started Wind Waker because I couldn't. I need to just get away from Mario Kart for a while. And so that the only thing I found with Wind Waker is that you have to think invertly to the camera.
Mm-hmm. All right. You can't change it at all?
You can't. No. I don't know if there's a setting to change. There's no settings in the game for flipping the axis. I haven't properly looked. But yeah, it's nightmarish. It's not very. It's
No.
almost Mario, almost Banjo and Kazooie hard to get my
Ooh.
head around.
Yeah.
So, but the game looks fantastic and it plays really well, and I'm getting lots of nostalgia from it.
Cool.
And remembering why I think as a kid I got frustrated with it a lot because I just wanted to go and sail the seas, but no, the dragon boat tells me I have to do it a certain way, and it's like, well, no.
Man,
So
I would love to.
I got a sea
I'd like to go back and see what that looks like. But I'm very deep. I'm
I
not
got a sea
gonna
chart,
tears.
and I wanted to go to a certain point, and it was like, no, we need to go due south now because we need to get this next pearl. And I was like, that guy can wait. I know he can wait. You just leave him alone, and he'll go away eventually. So like I set off sailing, and it just stopped and like turned the boat around. I was like, right, okay, so we need to go south from where I was.
Oh
which
wow,
I've
I
now
don't remember
sailed,
that.
I've now sailed really far west. So if I travel southeast, I'll get there. So I set off traveling southeast. Wouldn't even let me go southeast. I had to go due west to get to the island that I'd started from again, and then go due south. And I was like, this is just a really long, comfortable way of doing it. I was like,
Yeah, that's really
yeah.
funny because I have this like memory of being like very free to sail as I please, right? But yeah, it's funny how those things are.
Yeah.
Not how you remember them.
So
Just like Super Mario
no.
64, I was like, oh, I don't remember this. That's awful. So, yeah.
So yeah, video. And then today, because Logan, my mum picked Logan up from school for us yesterday, and then Lindsay's mum picked them up from my mum and had them overnight. Just because we're trying not to put too much on my parents at the moment, because my mum's not 100%, and my dad's in dire need of a hip replacement and in a lot of pain. We went and picked them up, and then we went via my mum and dad's to pick Rex up because Rex stopped there. They like to have Rex because they like the cuddles and stuff like that. So, so we had to pick Rex up, and as we're there, like my dad had sold his motorhome, so he had like loads of stuff from out of the motorhome in the house. And he was like this old Xbox, and like Logan and Zion, this old Xbox One, like day one Xbox One.
Oh man.
He's like eyeing it up, and he's looking at it, and like he looks at me, and he looks at mum, and he goes, "Oh, it's really not fair that Dad won't let me have a TV in my bedroom." And I shoot a look over at Lindsay, and I'm like, "That wasn't me that said that." She's like, big smirk on her face. She's like, "It's definitely what I told him." I was like, "What?" So
threw Dad under the bus. I love it.
Yeah, big time. I was like, I didn't say that, dude. But I was like, that was definitely a mum thing. It's not me. So, long story short, he has now got a TV in his room. We bought him a TV today. Tried the Xbox One. It will not load anything.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's let me install all the games, like really quick to get through all the dashboard and stuff. But I tried to launch Fortnite on the thing, and half an hour later, it's still not even giving me the option to like log in.
It's supposed to, right? I mean, it's supposed to be backward compatible over that.
It's supposed to be, but it definitely isn't working.
So you think it's a that machine problem?
I think it's a age-related problem. I know it's slow to load up on the Xbox One S that Emily's got in her room. So, and that's like 2 or 3 years newer than the original Xbox One.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
So yeah, we've got into we've now put the OLED switch has now come out of Emily's room and gone into Logan's room. So he has a switch in his room now. So, but he's just happy. He can on the TV. He can watch YouTube Kids, Netflix, Prime, Disney Plus, and he can sit and play Fortnite on the OLED switch.
Yeah.
So, which is what I had to do before I started recording this. Is coming down, and I learned very quickly about virtual cards. So I had to link his Switch Lite to the other Switch, which luckily didn't take very long at all.
No, it doesn't take long to link and unlink, but it's just a real bear because then when you go back to the other device and somebody wants to do something, then they have to unlink and relink. So
yeah, that's only for game sharing, though, isn't it?
No, that's for virtual cards. You can only have 2 switches linked together to auto share virtual cards. So if you have three
Okay.
switches, as long as it's just those two, you're fine. But if it's a third one that wants to share with one of those two, then those two have to be unlinked, and you have to link with the other one then.
That sounds really silly when you've got a family account.
Yes, I agree. I think they need to quickly figure out a way. In my opinion, they need to do the Netflix thing. I think that would protect them and also give everybody leeway. If you're on the same network, on the same Wi-Fi network, then just let me switch my cards. And if you're not,
Yeah.
but you're only been what, Netflix is like 7 days or something, like if my laptop is sitting at work for more than like 2 weeks and I don't bring it home, then it starts to yell at me. And I try to like log into Netflix at the office. It'll be like, yo, this isn't on that network. And I'm like, okay, I got to take it back to the house, right? And like just like log in, and then I'm good again. Like I think they need to do a Netflix thing with all these like switches.
I don't even think they need to do that. It's as easy as when you add people to your Nintendo Switch Online family membership, you have to link their Switch account, their my Nintendo account. So as long as like I'm the owner of the family plan, and I say they can, all use the virtual cards because they're within the family plan, and they're added via this, as long as they're on their home device. So Emily would be using her Switch Lite, Logan would use the OLED, Lindsay would use the other Switch Lite. As long as they're on their home device and they're logged into their Nintendo Switch account, they should be able to use it wherever they are.
Well, you can use it wherever you are for your cards, just not everybody else's cards.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, I think they need to open it up a bit more with that.
They do. I mean, I love your version, but I think they want more protection than that. So they want protection from me and you being in the same family plan, so that we can share cards across the ocean. So,
yeah, but what happens if, like, say Emily wants to go to college in the US and I'm still in the UK?
I know it stinks because now not only if you guys aren't linked when she leaves, then you're done for. And if you ever unlink, you're not going to be able to relink because you're not going to be able to put your switches next to each other because they're miles and miles apart. So yeah, there's some real constraints and some real issues with virtual game cards that don't work, that they need to somehow figure out so that it works for them and it works for everybody else. I think if you do your version, that's not going to work for them because people are going to take advantage of that. But they need to find some way to make it work. But you're right. Even the way I said, that helps me out a lot, but it wouldn't help your scenario out where it's like, somebody goes to college. Even Jaya, when you don't have to drive 2 hours just to relink a Switch. So I mean, that's not going to work either because she's going to be there for more than 2 weeks. And at that point, she's going to unlink, and it won't work. So, yeah, there's some real, like, I'm sure they're scratching their head on how best to solve this. But I will say, from the looks of it on my side, they seem to be the only of the big three that are looking for a way to solve digital game cards to make it more fair for the player. Nobody else really is trying to solve that. Like, there's no virtual game cards for Xbox. Like, if you buy it, it's yours.
You mean they still haven't come out with a family plan?
Yeah, they still haven't come out with a family plan.
We spent 2 years
we did
saying how it would be awesome to have some great handheld device that Xbox should like really, really hone in on, for us to only stop doing the Xbox reporting stuff, and then less than 12 months later, they bring out an awesome handheld console.
Yeah, they what do you want to say? They've abducted one. They've partnered with Rogue Ally to make a version of one that's Xbox only. And from what I just heard, they've canceled their version now. That's the rumor on the street. That's not official. But they were supposed to do this Rogue Ally thing, and then in like 2 years they were going to come out with their own Windows one, and they've 86 that, from what I understand from the rumor.
And so they should, because I mean this one is Xbox, Steam, Battle.net can all be done on this one device. So why bother?
I don't disagree, and it's more powerful than Switch 2 by quite a bit in some ways. So it'll be interesting to see if they gain any traction. You know, I mean, Nintendo's got a crushing grip on the handheld market, but anything's possible.
Pun intended.
Oh, that's true. I was not even there. That's just been a dad so long that just came right out.
I just noticed as well your cup O tea matches the color of your shirt.
Yeah, look at me. I meant that. I definitely meant that. I grabbed this out of a suitcase, Sean. I grabbed this shirt out of a suitcase because most of the shirts that I like to wear or would ever be caught wearing are in that suitcase. So now I have to. Well, now I'm gonna be real honest. This shirt, I'm gonna wear this tomorrow morning because I just put it on after I took a shower at 4:00. So I'm gonna wear this tomorrow morning, and all the rest are gonna get washed and put back in the suitcase. It's really hard to pack for 2 weeks, man. It is really hard.
Well, don't say too much about it because I think vacation planning or vacation prep is going to be our Wednesday episode. So this is a really good segue that if we can end today's everyday life episode and come and catch us on Wednesday when you'll hear more about. You'll hear more about. I just dropped my cup all over the laptop. You'll hear more about how Nick has planned and prepped for the holiday and what he has and hasn't done because he told me an interesting story regards packing the kids' suitcases. And I'll probably give some information as well because I don't do a lot. So yeah, and for the same scenario as you, I'm not allowed to mess with the list or the process. So
yep.
So yeah, so join us on Wednesday for the Dad Life episode. We hope you are having an absolutely awesome time with the kids being at home for the summer holidays over there in the US. And so we'll catch you soon.
See you later, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Dad Crossing. We're here to remind you that this podcast is made by dads for dads. It's a place where all of us can come together, share a laugh, and tackle the wild ride that is fatherhood. If you want to keep the conversation going or just need a safe space to chat or ask for help, you are always welcome to reach out. You can find me, Sean, at Sean_Abbott, and you can find my good friend Nick at Nick10Do. And of course, give our social media platforms a good look over because that is where we share all the updates, all the laughs, and all the things dad life. That is, everything is at Dad Crossing. For anything more, feel free to drop us a message at team@dadcrossing.com. And until next time, stay strong, stay connected, and remember, you're never alone on this journey. We'll see you in the next episode of Dad Crossing.